Welcome everyone, thank you so much for clicking. If you clicked on this, you probably want to learn about training with kettlebells. You probably seen what I do and you said, hey, that looks cool, maybe I can do that. Or maybe you're already training with kettlebells. And good. At the end of this video, throughout this video, I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, how you can do it, and what the purpose of it is. But first, if you're watching this and you're something like me or relate with me, you probably experienced a few things in common to where you probably lost some fat in the past, lost some body weight, and then gained it back on. And maybe this has happened a few different times. Maybe you started going and working out at gyms, doing the same stuff you used to do, like chest day, arm day, barbell, etc. And it worked for a while, but then you weren't consistent with it. And time again, you just kept falling off. Maybe you have some deep motivations in there, like someone in your family hasn't unfortunately taken the best care of themselves, and you see where they've been going and where they're headed. And I've worked in healthcare, and I've worked in nursing homes, hospitals, and I've seen this all too many times and know it's a real thing. But that feeling of like seeing someone not take control of their health and where they're going, that pains me to have with some people that I know. And I never want the future generations or my children to have that feeling towards me. I want them to see me as a very strong, disciplined man who takes care of himself and wants to show up for them. When my grandkids graduate from high school, I want to be there, pick them up, like maybe they'll be a little embarrassed if I did that, but you get the idea. So that's like the real reasons of why I work out as I do, and I try to encourage people. It's not just to get abs and get in shape. Like, yeah, that stuff's cool, man, but man, woman, there's more to it than that. So throughout my own experience, like I would start in the gyms and I would do barbell. And as a physical therapist, like I even changed it to going push-pull and leg days and core days. And that would work fairly well. But the time to get there, like waiting in traffic, walking to the gym after work, after like a 10, 12-hour day and seeing just a buzz of people standing around the barbells and stuff I want to use was just a nah for me. So I found this way. And I discovered it through looking at other creators, and discovered it through like just being exposed to it through different people that I work with. And it was it for me once I started. There was no turning back. So I'm gonna go through why we train with kettlebells, and then I'm gonna walk you through my style of workouts and kind of how I put everything together. And I do this everywhere. Like I travel around a decent amount, and you can get access to a kettlebell. They're in every sporting goods store. You can get off Amazon, Facebook Market. They're easy to find, and like once you have it, you can use that same, I've been using the same weight now and haven't went up past this for more than 6 months. Now, next place I'm at, I'm gonna buy a heavier one because I'm just ready for more of a challenge. But there's so many ways to scale without getting more kettlebells. So why we train with kettlebells is one, to get past these things that I was talking about earlier, is that it takes less time and you can do it anywhere. So like you can get an effective kettlebell workout under 20 minutes. Almost, I think this workout's right around 22, 23, but most of my workouts are 15 to 20 minutes long. Like no BS. Now you can work out 30, 35, 40 minutes, sure, and you will get in amazing shape by doing that. But you can also do it in 15, 20, and if you do other things along with that, like eating clean and staying consistent, your body's gonna get in great shape. You're gonna get conditioned. Not just the shape part, and that comes along with losing body fat. But you're gonna be building lean muscle, not like muscle for show, but muscle for go. So as you're doing this as well, your body's gonna become more mobile. Like you're gonna find you're getting deeper in these motions, like squatting and lunging, because you're not using super heavy weight, and you're able to get down and go through full ranges of motion. And that's where the magic really happens. So for any of you who've worked out in the gyms for a while and started having like neck pain and shoulder issues and elbow issues and things like that, like I've had them. Even as a physical therapist, I've had them when I was doing those style of workouts. You have to do tons of mobility work to counteract that, which yes, you can do if you have that time. But working out with kettlebells, that goes away. And then when you pair it with some calisthenics, and I don't mean like one-arm pull-ups and handstands and stuff. Like I enjoy that kind of stuff, but push-ups, squats, pull-ups, rows, using just your body weight, the results are incredible. And your body becomes stronger as one by doing this. Like we're not training to be Arnold Schwarzenegger up on stage, and nothing but respect to those people who do that. That's not my goal. I want to move better. I want to feel good. I want to be able to go from 0 to 100 real quick. I want to be able to climb stuff, climb mountains, hop up over a wall, pull myself up, hoist over something, carry stuff functionally. And as a result of all that, we look good. So like, do we want to train to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ronnie Coleman, who are huge and spent probably 3 to 5 hours a day training, eating thousands of calories a day? Or do we want to be functional, ready to go adults who look like King Leonidas or like Brad Pitt in Fight Club, for example, like have that ripped, shredded physique? Or are we just looking to get back in shape and like start being healthier and make good active lifestyle choices in 20 minutes at a time? Like, the answer is training with kettlebell and with your body, in my opinion, versus going to a gym. Hope I'm not beating a dead horse about this, but there's so much I can say about it. So kettlebells will cost like 50 to 70 bucks. If you're first starting out, you're going to spend like 30 to 40 bucks, honestly. You should start with a lighter weight as you're starting to really learn the movements and master them and learning your body more. And with that, you want to start small and learn like the basic foundational movements and then start scaling with those and adding some more stuff sprinkled in as you're training. But you don't have to go crazy the first little bit. Like, you can learn a swing and a clean and then doing other exercises with that and just doing those over and over again. You're going to get great results. That's kind of where I started. So as you're doing this, also, you're going to be boosting your metabolism. Since you are putting lean muscle mass on, you're going to start, like, your body's going to start burning fat off while you're sleeping, while you're walking around. It's not like getting on a treadmill where you just really burn there and epoch for like maybe an hour after. With kettlebell training and putting on lean muscle mass, you're going to be burning it throughout the whole entire day. And maybe you're asking, well, can't you do the same thing training in a gym? I'm like, yes, you can, absolutely. Like, if you have the time to go to the gym, then go to the gym. If going to the gym is like your therapy and you love it, then keep doing it. That's completely fine. Like, no, nothing bad about it. But for me, in my lifestyle, and for probably you if you're watching this, who have been inconsistent in the past and have other things to do, be it family, your job, traveling, hanging out with friends, social events, it just doesn't work for you. And there's nothing wrong with that, I think. Unless you say, okay, well, I'm not going to get in shape now and take care of myself because of those things. You know, if you point the finger back at yourself and say, okay, there's a way to do this. Other people do it too, and they're busier than me. How can I do it? This is the answer. Always ask yourself, is there someone out there who's had less than me, less resources than me, who's came out with a better outcome? The answer is almost always going to be yes. And I think about that often. Then I can turn that into, okay, how can I get the same result, if not better? Like, I could sit there and feel sorry for myself, sure, or I could pick myself up and make it happen. And that's what I try and encourage everyone that I have conversation with to do. Big mindset piece that goes into this as well as all other aspects of life. So once you start doing workouts like this for a while and you're showing up for yourself, you start building self-love and self-confidence. Like, you look better and you see that in the mirror. And some people may disagree, but I find that gets reflected through other people in society. Like, if I take my shirt off around people, like, I notice that people notice. And I'm not doing this for vanity. I'm doing it for all the other reasons that I mentioned, but that doesn't hurt. Like, I have no problem with people saying, hey, you look good. Like, that feels good. And I have no shame in admitting that. And if you've ever been in a time where you haven't felt that feeling in a while, this is a way to get there. It can fit in your busy schedule. Like, we have the same 24 hours in the day. I work inside my page here and on my content 10 to 12 hours a day, honestly. I really take it seriously and I grind, and have been for some time now. And I'm not working out all day long. Like, guys, there's no like hidden gym workouts. I do some calisthenics, body training I hired a coach to help me with that because I want to be able to do fancy like handstand push-ups and planches and things like that. And I hired a coach to help me with that because I know I'll get there faster. But I'm not like working out, doing secret barbell stuff. This is what I do. What you see me do, like, I don't create content, I document my life and what I learn from other people. And that's what you see in my stuff. So it's fun, it's challenging. I love getting out there and just punching the clock, turning my brain off, writing something on my phone, my notepad, or my workout, setting a timer, and just going to war. Getting it done. Now, there's times when I show up and I just don't want to. Like, that happens. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every time I go to work out, I want to, because I don't. But it's the times that we don't want to work out and we still show up and we still get that work in. That's what really makes us disciplined. Like anyone can get excited and start going to the gym or working out or eating healthy for like a week. Everyone does that. But it's when we fall off and we're not consistent, that's like, okay, what really happened there? Was the motivation not strong enough? Or do we allow ourselves to fall off because of extraneous external influences or resources or whatever the case may be? So food for thought. All right, so this worked out here. I'm going to break down why I chose the exercises I did and kind of what's going on. I think I'm finishing up one of the rounds here in this video, and I'll start from the top. But essentially, what I do when I incorporate working out with kettlebells is all the planes of motion our body goes through. So that is the sagittal plane, what's in front of us, the frontal plane out to the side here, and then the transverse plane, which is turning. I think core stability, or the purposes of our core, I think for stability, I think for producing movement, and then transfer of forces. I think strong, ballistic, powerful movements that are going to get my heart up and hit my type 1 muscle fibers that are fast twitch to make me go faster. Scratch that. Type 2 muscle fibers that go faster. And then some easier stuff is going to keep me breathing to get the aerobic side, but a lot of coordinated activities. So during this exercise, the kettlebell snatch, taking the weight from the ground on the first rep, through my legs from a swing, all the way up top. That is a full, every muscle in my body is active when I'm doing that. All right, this is the end of this round. We're going to start a new one here. But when we're doing these ballistic movements, we're getting so much done. Like all of our body systems are working together at one time. And we're getting so much more done than we would be if we're doing like a bench press or a curl. Now, if you're training for aesthetic reasons only, and doing the bodybuilder route, then good for you. You can get there by doing that way. But if you're training to be healthy, to be in shape, to perform well, and as a side effect, have some aesthetic things going for you, then this is a better way, in my opinion. And I'm coming from someone I've trained all different styles over my life. I've been in health and wellness space for like 12 years now, which is humbling to say the least. So when I design these workouts, I keep those things in mind. I pick exercises that reflect what I'm talking about. I get a weight that I'm comfortable with, and I started with lighter than this from the beginning of my kettlebell training, and then I sync those together. I find some exercises that are going to be tough, but challenging. They're going to really get my heart up and then kind of let me slow down a little bit and plane off. That are going to build cardiovascular endurance as well as building strength. And I try to put those all together. So here we are, going to start the round here. Usually, sometimes I like to kick off with like a swing or something just to get the heart up, just to get my blood pumping. Typically I do that a lot, honestly. Like here, I'm starting with single swings. And you can see this isn't a complicated workout. Like you can put these together. It's over time, scaling them, and over time knowing what's all going back behind the scenes with the structure that can be a little bit challenging for people, but I think it can be done. So I'm doing 5 single swings on each side. Then from here, I'm going to go into a front squat and a thruster. So again, full body movement here, incorporating a functional squat pattern, and then getting the weight overhead. So I'm using a lot of muscles here. And as you see, I do a lot of single-sided exercises with kettlebells. Now, a big purpose in this is that whenever we do single side, essentially it's trying to pull my body over to one side. So I'm having to use my core muscles to engage and keep that from happening. So I'm getting stabilization, I'm getting transfer of forces because I'm going through that dynamic movement, and as well, I'm getting, my terms there, stability, transfer of forces, and some movement as well for those dynamic things. So we're achieving a lot in a small amount of time. Versus if I was just on an ab machine and like pressing down, I'm getting one plane of motion and just just movement. I'm not transferring any forces. So that's one of the big benefits of training in this style. So as I go through a couple rounds, I end up having to stop between exercises in each round. I always try to do the first round nonstop. That's a goal of mine. If I can do like the first 2 or 3 rounds nonstop, then typically it's too easy, I find. But after the first one, if I have to start breaking up, then it's a good pace. So here we're going into lateral lunges with the kettlebell. These will work your legs and glutes so well. Like after doing these for the next 2 to 3 days, my glutes butt is so sore every time I go sit down. Like it's like, oh, that was a good workout. Again, so now I'm working in the frontal plane a lot. Still getting some sagittal motion with my leg that's I'm lunging onto. The weight's on one side, so I'm getting that transfer of forces and stability. I'm getting functional movement patterns all at the same time. Yeah, heart rate gets up through these as well. Try them out. Try 5 on each wave with a heavier weight, and it'll get your heart out pretty quick. So other things to keep in mind is between the push and pull relationship for a lot of exercises I do. Now this is only one workout. I think of these throughout my planning for a week. And then I try to get a nice balance of these. So a lot of days I'll be doing push-ups, and push-ups are a great way to start sculpting your chest and start getting a lot of strength in your shoulders as well, especially if you change the position during your push-up. Then I go to a row. So as I'm doing a row, I'm getting the opposite, which is pulling, which is what we need to do as human beings, because everything we do is over here in front. If you're in your career and you're at a computer a decent amount of the day, rows are gonna be a great exercise for you. Now we could go to the gym and sit in a thing and use the cable and do that row that you've probably done before. Sure, nothing wrong with that. But doing this, you're gonna get so much more. One, your heart's up because you're moving, you're sweating, you're out in the sun getting a nice vitamin D, depending on where you live. And you're getting that unilateral movement I've been talking about. So core stability, dynamic movement, strengthening, heart rate, all those factors are going into play here. Yeah, so that's why I picked those things. And then in this workout, I like to end the round with that snatch, which is a more challenging exercise. Sometimes I'll start with that, but this one I was like, let's challenge ourselves at the beginning and the end. And that's a way I can find to really improve your skill. There's a saying by Vince Lombardi. It's fatigue makes cowards of us all. So apply that to the end. Like when you're really tired, that's when you're most likely to mess up. But like you have to really focus a little bit more during this time. And so something else that I really enjoy about training with kettlebells and these kinds of workouts in this way is that I can turn my brain off. Like, let's see, there's I think 4 or 5 exercises in this circuit here. And I just do those. Rest 45, 60, 90 seconds, get some water, re-chalk my hands, go back to it. Like there's not too much thinking and planning going on while I'm doing this. It's just showing up, putting the work in. So even if you have a terrible day, maybe you've got into a fight with your partner, maybe something went bad in your work or business, like you just show up for 20 minutes. Just hit the timer, have your exercises, get your bell, go through a warm-up if you like. I like to just go straight into it personally because I'm trying to build my body to go from sitting here to sprinting and reacting quickly without warm-ups. But just show up, punch the clock, and go through it. It doesn't have to be your best workout every time. Like there are some workouts that I have where I will push myself to the point where I'm like laying down at the end. But not everyone's like that. Not every workout has to be that way. Just show up, get the workout in. And over time, if you're consistent with this approach and you're eating good, which is a part of it, and you're not eating the trash that's out there in the world today, my opinion, you're eating good, real food over time, you're going to get there. You're going to get so much better. The other things that improve in this time is like your grip strength. If you need to work with your hands, like holding that kettlebell at one time, it's going to help with that. You're going to get better bone mineral density over time. Anyone can start off with kettlebells, whether you have experience and been working out for a long time or like you're just diving into something. This is a great place to get started because it's so scalable. You really don't need anything but your body and a kettlebell. Hope I'm not beating the stick with the dead horse here, but so as you notice, I've been in this little tiny spot here the whole entire time. Like I've lived places where I just have a bedroom and I'll work out right in front of my bed in that 5 foot of space. It's so like there's no excuse for not being able to get this style of workouts in my humble opinion. And yeah, so if you've tried exercising before time and time again, and your goal was like to really start losing weight, or your goal was to get rid of the belly fat, or just start to have a more trim physique, or if you're trying to lose like 100 pounds, and you haven't tried this approach, you need to try this approach. This will work. Like your body will burn off fat while you sleep. And in terms of nutrition, I don't count calories. I don't. If you follow me on Instagram, which please do if you're not already, you'll see me, I eat ice cream, I eat pancakes, I eat a lot of fun, not good stuff on the weekends. But during the week, I eat very clean. I eat good whole sources of protein like fish, fatty fish, chicken, beef, good stuff that I usually cook a lot myself. I have good complex carbs like yuca, sweet potato, I eat a lot of veggies, like carrots, green beans, zucchini, onion, things like that I will cook just on a stovetop a lot of the times, which I'll cook very quickly, by the way. If you need help with meal prepping, I made 5 meals that had over 50 grams of protein and vegetables and a complex carbohydrate in under 30 minutes. And there's a link to that video down below in the description if you want to check it out. But I eat that like 5 days a week with fruit, snacking on throughout the day, drinking lots of water, some coffee here and there, and like that's the results I get. Now, I'm not super jacked by any means, but I'm in good shape. And I'm going to get in better shape the more I train like this. I do have aspirations of becoming this ripped animal over time, but we'll get there. And again, that's not the point of the whole training, but it's nice. It doesn't hurt, right? And I'll notice, like, so if I take like 3 or 4 days and just fall off, and like maybe I'll go see my girlfriend, and she's Italian, who makes a lot of great food. God bless her. I love the food. Don't stop eating it. But like I'll gain a couple pounds and like not really see my abs that much. But then I'll get back to this for like 2 or 3 days, and it's like, boom, we're right back in. So you really can take control of your life with this. And I really encourage you to start giving it a try. If you're struggling with starting and stopping, this is a way to stop doing that. If you're tired of losing and regaining weight, this is a way to stop doing it. If you've got that folder full of saved workouts on Instagram, follow this style, pick 4 to 5 exercises and just do them week over week and get better at the same workout. You can start that simple. It's that easy. Make a promise to yourself that you're going to show up and you're going to get these done, and then fulfill that promise and build that self-discipline and self-respect. If you're worried about feeling old too soon, then this is a way to reverse that in a matter of like months if you get going with it. We've got to be consistent. It's our responsibility to not end up like those before us that have had unfortunate physical health where they can't go on a hike or they can't go see important things or miss out on those precious moments. Like, this is a big thinking behind this, and putting that content out is to inspire you to take control of your life. So I really hope you all do that. If you're not already, please subscribe to this channel. I'm going to be putting out a lot of helpful content to help you get there over time. Subscribe, hit the bell. It'll really help me out. I really appreciate that in advance. Head over to my Instagram, give me a follow. I post content there almost every day and trying to grow. So I really want to reach as many people as I can to help make that impact over time. So yeah, if you got any other questions based off that, want to send me a personal message, please go right ahead. I'd love to connect with my followers. It's nice to get to know everyone. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.